This is a story about a bale of cotton. When I was living in Mississippi, we used to have a cotton crop. We used to do sharecropping. So I used to get up, sun up, go to the cotton patch, come back when the sun go down. I started going to the cotton patch at the age of 8. That was after my mother got her leg broke in 1953. My dad hired a man to take him and my mother, her brother, his wife, and his wife's baby, and their baby, to Aberdeen, Mississippi, to visit my mother's mother and father. On their way, they had a car accident. In this car accident, my mother got one of her legs broke. She lost part of the bone out of her leg. They had to put a pin in it. The man that was driving the car, he got both of his legs broke. His name was Mr. Ben. When they got in the accident, it was a couple came by, a white couple. They took my mother, my father, her brother, his wife, and the two babies out of the car, took them to the hospital, and they left the man, the driver, Mr. Ben, in the car. I don't know how he got to the hospital till today. Anyway, my mother had to stay in the hospital for so many months. My father came home. He took care of his kids. His kids went from age 11 to age 8 months, which was the baby. My father took care of by himself. His mother lived right across the creek from us. She never came over to our house except for one time. That's to beat my butt. Because my sister went over there and told her that I had lit a Roman camera in the fireplace. And the blade of fire went up in the ceiling, but it didn't burn anything. So my grandmother came back with my sister, and she beat me for lighting the Roman camera. She says to me, "Your daddy's out there working hard trying to take care of y'all, while your mother's in the hospital and you trying to burn down the house." Which I was. It was an accident. I was only 8 years old. What I know. So anyway, my grandmother lived right across the creek from us. She never came to our house, not once. They cook us one meal. She didn't show us how to clean. She didn't show us how to do anything. My other grandmother moved from Aberdeen, Mississippi, out there where we were, and they stayed a couple of months. She invited us to her house a couple of times for to eat. My aunt came and picked us up, took us to their house, and brought us back. Then one evening, we went over to my daddy's mother's house to play with our cousins, and she gave us something to eat while we were there. So she got through fixing the plate. She said, "You sat here, you sat here." And she said, "You sat there." So I sat down, and I looked at the plate. My plate had less food than anybody else, and I asked her, I said, "Mama, why my plate got less food on anybody else?" She said, "You got just as much as anybody else." My grandfather looked at the plate. He said, "Well, the damn sure don't look like it to me." He said, "So give us some more." From that date, my grandmother never liked me no more. So anyway, my mother stayed in the hospital for, like I said, for 3 or 4 months. My daddy would get up in the morning. He would make us get up, get dressed. He would take a frying pan, put it on the fireplace, put some meat in it. He had kept a hog, put some meat in it, fried, give us some white bread. Then he would get ready to go to work, come on home at 12 o'clock. He would feed us the same way again, meat and bread. He would come back in the afternoon, he would do it again. Like I said, the oldest person in the house was 11 years old besides my father. We couldn't wash, we couldn't iron, we couldn't cook, we couldn't clean. There was nobody to teach us. So we learned the best we could. But when my mother came out the hospital, she used to stay on the bed because she couldn't walk and help us to bring stuff to her side of her bed. She would show us my sister how to fix it. Till my older sister learned how to cook. And my sister learned how to cook. She did all the cooking until she got married. So people coming to visit us, my mother would try to help her cook. But my mother kept this cast on her leg from 1953 till 1957. Then she had a brace put on her leg. She used to walk with the braids. During this time, like I said, my mother had on that time. The ages, like I said, went from 11 to 8 months. Okay. My mother used to help us cook, show us how to cook. So, like I said, Tana learned to cook until she got married, and she taught Dot. She never taught me and May. Now, Mr. Will Sprague, like I said, these white people came by and took my mother and them to the hospital. I don't know if he ever got to the hospital or he ever got out or what.